What is up, people? Ruben here. Today we are reviewing Thor number 3, so let's get right into it. The issue starts off a few days ago in Jotunheim, with Skymir, the guardian of Jotunheim, talking about the good old days when they could just throw their children out into a monster snowstorm that comes around every so often. Although the giants still do this, it's not been the same since Luffy, their king, was killed. This is when Malekith enters the conversation with some good news for Skymir. The good news being that Malekith has found the lost skull of Luffy. It's on Earth. Skymir says this info isn't much help for him, as invading Midgard means going to war with Asgard, which means going to war with Thor and his hammer. Malekith has some more good news, that his spies in Asgard have heard that Thor is without his hammer, and is now nothing but a god. Now back in current time, we pick up right where the last issue ended, with Thor surrounded by frost giants and the hammer still stuck in the vault. Malekith pops up to question as he calls Lady Thor, and she threatens him in her best Asgardian impression, to which even Malekith says she has the lingo and attitude down. But he grows bored quick and tells the frost giants to deal with her, as he's already killed one Thor this week, and with that Skymir freezes and swallows her whole. Next order of business would be to get the vault door open. Malekith gives it a try but barely dents it. Just then Lady Thor explodes from Skymir and begins punching the remaining giants. Malekith is amused by this but remains focused on the vault door. He gives it another try, this time using magic, and is successful in getting inside. Agar is surprised by this, as his VP of Warlocks assured him that the doors were magic proof. Malekith demands Luffy's skull, but Agar is not having any of it and goes full Minotaur mode, and they begin to fight. Back outside the vault, Lady Thor is putting up a tougher fight than the frost giants expected, but she's not sure how long she can keep it up, as the longer she's away from her hammer, the weaker she's getting. She hits the ground, causing it to collapse, sending all the giants to the ocean floor below, giving her some time to get her hammer before her powers disappear completely. Just before she changes back to her normal self, Nomir breaks through and she regains her powers. Inside the elevator, the fight between Malekith and Agar resulted in Luffy's skull being found. Lady Thor shows up and has just about enough of all the fighting and death over the skull, and with that she smashes it into pieces. Malekith, shocked by this action, tells her that she's just doomed the realm, and all that war with the frost giants is all but guaranteed now. But before she has time to let that news sink in, original Thor shows up and says she's already has a war on her hands. So altogether, this was another good issue. Good art, good story. Not quite up to par with God of Thunder yet, but I think it might be getting there pretty soon. And next issue, where Thor versus Thor is going to happen, we'll probably get a God of Thunder size action sequence, so that'll be cool. So altogether, I'm giving Thor number 3 an 8 out of 10. Maybe on the next issue, we'll finally get to see who the new Thor really is.